Today on the morning show for a Friday, we're going to put the spotlight on Ithaca schools and all the good things going on over the course of the first quarter and now into the second quarter, which doesn't seem possible. Joining us is middle school, high school principal Brandon Federle, who joins us in the studio. Good to see you.
Thank you for having us, Phil. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good to put the spotlight on things. And as I mentioned, you've already had a quarter. You've had parent-teacher conferences. It's moving, isn't it?
It seems like days can creep by and all of a sudden the months are gone and we're into the second quarter. You know, the fall sports season has wrapped up. The kids are wearing hats and boots, and we had a little bit of the S word. The snow already has fallen. We're into the second quarter. Our winter sports teams are gearing up, and you know we're starting to look at preparations for the holiday season, if I could put it that way, and we're really excited.
Recapping fall sports, one in particular, the cross-country teams. And I know Ithaca contributes to the Richland Center, the co-op. Boy, they had a great season, didn't they?
Oh, we're very proud of the athletes from Ithaca. Senior Clayton Lee. We had juniors Brayson Garcia Boland and Sam Jones as the upperclassmen. And we were informed that we will be able to have a plaque and awards from that state winning team in our school as well. I am really impressed with the level of cooperation, the coaching from Coach Mindham, the character that he imparts to the kids, and the way the team has bonded. I was talking with a couple of kids from the Richland Center side of the squad, and everyone is so complimentary. They're excited to see what next year has to bring. And although we're sad at that this chapter is closed, the future looks very bright for cross country.
It does, and that's a sport that unfortunately doesn't always get the accolades that it should, but they put in a lot of hard work, don't they?
I don't know if I've run that far in the last 10 years.
In my life.
Right. But the dedication, the training, the diet that they have to put into their bodies to fuel themselves to achieve those things is very impressive. I did see a couple of cheat days in the cafeteria. You know, the kids are done with the season, and you know now they're. I won't out who it is. Had a bunch of pizza, and man, is it nice to have pizza again. And so I know when track season and basketball starts up in earnest, they're going to get back to it.
Coming up, you're going to have the holidays not too far down the road, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And you do anything special the week of Thanksgiving?
Well, we have a little bit of a schedule change. Originally, we were to have an early release on November the 19th, and we brought this up to the school board to shift that early release day from November the 19th to November the 26th. So that would be the day before the Thanksgiving holiday. Some families travel, you know, some families have folks in. And so to be able to get the kids out early on that day so that preparations for the holidays can happen in earnest a little bit earlier. Folks can get on the road a little bit earlier if they're traveling. Maybe get a half day of deer hunting in if you haven't seen the trophy buck on opening weekend. And allow our staff the ability to get home and perhaps prepare, but also get some work done from home because that's an important time for everyone.
Yeah, it really is. And so that's coming up before we know it. You had a successful second harvest distribution a while back. Another one's coming up, isn't it?
Correct. Our next second harvest food distribution will take place on Thursday, November the 20th. Those distributions typically start at 4 o'clock, so 4 p.m., which is kind of odd that it's getting dark now at that time, but that's where we live. One thing I did want to note is that the location of the distribution is changing. So the previous food distributions were down by the transportation garage. And now we're going to move that up to the elementary entrance where, for folks in the district where student pickup and drop-off happens, inside that elementary portico. For a couple of reasons. One, it's better lit when it starts getting dark. And two, when the weather starts getting cold, we can store things so that our staff are not, and volunteers are not outside for hours on end, because doing that can also pose a risk to the people doing the distribution. So on Thursday, November 20th is the distribution from 4 to 5 p.m., and it will be up at the elementary entrance under the portico instead of down at the transportation building.
Did I hear you're going to be doing some gingerbread house making?
Oh, that time is upon us, isn't it? So the PTSO has their annual gingerbread house night, and that's December the 5th in the Commons at 6 o'clock. I have been told that it is not something to miss, and so I would like to make it a point to be there. It's amazing how quickly holiday events creep up on us, isn't it?
It is.
That, it feels like we just started school, and now we're talking about gingerbread house night, and it's no more than 3 weeks away. So we're excited. The kids are excited, and it's great to see the creativity that families put forth in these gingerbread houses.
Will the principal be doing any construction work that night too?
I don't know if the principal is going to be constructing. The principal might be judging the gingerbread houses, and I've been told that it is not a taste test. It's just viewing. So fortunately or unfortunately, we're going to find a winner, and we're going to praise everyone that's there.
Yeah, no doubt. That frosting that they use for caulk or whatever it is, that tastes pretty good too, usually. So you have a choir concert coming up too.
We do have a choir concert. Once again, holidays are upon us. December the 8th is the 612 choir concert, and Miss Kennedy Chelberg is the conductor of the choir. That concert is at 7 p.m. And because in years past we would have a combined choir band concert, but because we have Miss Chelberg conducting both the band and the choir, to have her run from one end of the gym to the other, conducting everything, we want to set everyone up for success, and she does an amazing job. So December the 8th is going to be the 612 choir at 7 p.m., and then we're going to have a separate band concert later on in the Christmas season.
I see. And that keeps her busy. Certainly it's a good time with all of the grades, all right? Isn't like middle school and then high school for that concert then?
Correct. So middle and high school choir will have one concert. We have the program for the elementary at a later date, and that one is in the afternoon during school. And then there will be a 612 band concert that will come in right before the Christmas break. And we hope to get Ms. Chelberg on here to talk about what she's doing, because we see amazing things out of the music program, and I could not begin to do them justice on my own.
No doubt. Nice to have a young teacher and, a lot of enthusiasm and energy, it sounds like, too. So.
I've had the privilege to see her in the classroom and to see her go from littles in one breath to high school choir, the versatility that she has, the excitement that she has, the excitement that the kids have to step into a music classroom. I couldn't be happier to have someone like that in our building.
Stepping outside the classroom a little bit, I know you're real proud of some of the beyond the classroom things that have been going on and the Ithaca students are awarded. Could you talk about that, Brandon?
Well, as the opening act today, I'd like to talk about the headliner on the program, Miss Ava Farjan, who is in 5th grade at Ithaca Schools. And she, the Wisconsin State Supreme Court recently visited Richland Center on their Justice on Wheels program. And as part of that program, there was a statewide essay contest about what justice means. And I'm going to let Mrs. Dilley describe that a little bit more later on in the program. What was really impressive was that Ava won the statewide essay contest and was recognized during the state Supreme Court session here in Richland Center. And even more impressive, our high school students in civics and social studies were present to witness that because they were on a field trip to see a Supreme Court proceeding. So an amazing accomplishment by Ava, who will be reading her essay on the air. And an impressive thing for her to have all of that support from the school in the classroom to cheer her on as she received her award. And lastly, something for the high school students to see that Ithaconians do great things, and this is just one example.
Yeah, for a statewide award, that's what's most impressive, is that there was a lot of competition here, and this young lady won that.
I am impressed. I am also not at all surprised.
Good way to put it. She's pretty sharp, too.
Oh, she is. I will out her a little bit. She was a little nervous in reading her essay on the air and trying to give her confidence. And she stopped and went, "Wait a second, is it Phil?" And I said, "Yes." "Oh, then we'll be fine." And then she was cool as a cucumber. So,
oh yes, well, it must have been that great daycare background that she had too, or she knows me a little bit. So.
You are well known throughout Southwest Wisconsin.
Some other opportunities for students. I know your FFA recently. I think you had some go to nationals.
Yes, we did. FFA participated in nationals in Indianapolis. They attended sessions. It is an experience to see something like that going from a place like Ithaca. We are used to what we know. And part of the education we want to bring is that we can be professional and we can bring things to the table nationwide. And taking part at Lucas Oil Stadium at the National FFA Convention is an accomplishment that is important and should be applauded. We had a group of kids attend and got to have a little bit of fun, but also learn some things as well. And currently they're at a leadership conference at the Dell, some of our FFA kids. So our FFA group is very active. They do very well. And as competition season heats up, I wouldn't be surprised to have some of the FFA members in here to talk about their accomplishments as the year goes on.
We'll look forward to that. You have strong forensics program. I know your math team does pretty well as well.
Absolutely.
Math competition should be coming up here soon.
Our first math competition starts in early December, and Mike Andreessen is our math team advisor, and I do have to play him up a little bit. Recently earned his master's degree in mathematics education. Very proud of him for that. And so pushing those students to do great things, and we have a strong history of high-quality mathematicians coming out of the school. I think you know Ron Donahoe firsthand.
Yes,
and
he tried to teach me.
Well, after he retired at Ithaca, we had the privilege of hiring him at the campus for a couple of years.
That's right.
And I do recall a couple of students who mentioned to me, "I thought I was done with him, and now he is here, my math teacher at the campus." Love him or hate him, he encouraged you to go beyond what you thought you were capable of.
Most definitely.
And that's what we are striving to do with our math competitions as well. We can do things greater than what we're capable of. We can do things greater than what other people think we're capable of. We are behind all those kids, and we can't wait to see what they're going to do.
How many doctors do you have on staff?
As of now, to my knowledge, two. So I do have my doctorate in chemistry.
Right.
I did teach a dual credit chemistry course through UW-Oshkosh last year for some amazing students. Unfortunately, this job prevents me from having the time to do so. I would like to think as things settle down and I get used to the ins and outs of the principal position that we can get back to teaching some chemistry to some kids and giving them the opportunity, if it's through Southwest Tech and some of the programs that they offer, or if it's through the UW to meet student needs, to get back and doing that. We have Dr. Claire Federley, the superintendent, who I don't know how she does it. I question whether or not she sleeps sometimes, but the leadership and the support that she's providing for us to to give opportunities to kids, to set instructors up for success, and to chart a course for the future to help Ithaca grow and succeed. I'm very thankful for her. And so her doctorate degree is in education, curriculum, and instruction. And I wouldn't be surprised to see her engage some future educators and see if we can't get them some advantages as they enter university.
Dr. Federley is supposed to be part-time, right? Or
she's supposed to be.
I was going to say
part-time.
supposed to be are the key words.
The part-time job, I would say, is 3/4 time, possibly full-time work. And we're very thankful for that because she doesn't quit until the job is done. She is present when she's not in the building by phone. Those are aspects from a leader that knows Ithaca. Being from Waniwak, she knew us. Teaching at Weston, she knew us. And wanting to be here for the long haul, it's a wonderful feeling to have a leader like that.
Indeed, and then you have lots of staff members like that the job's not done at 3:15 or when the bell goes off for that final class.
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I had a meeting with James Nee this morning at 7:15.
Was he behaving himself? Or?
Oh, absolutely, okay. Absolutely. There's going to be no notes home today. We were talking about curricular choices in tech ed and what kind of directions he sees for the program. He's another one of the many examples of alums that are teaching in the building, and it's great to see folks. Coming in early isn't a requirement. Staying in late isn't a requirement. It's the perspective that we have folks that are so interested in student learning and engaging students to be able to come in early and have a talk with the principal about where he wants to see the tech ed department go and what kind of ideas he has. And so I was there to listen, and I was there to think about how could I help support him and get him the tools that he needs. I find it as a point of honor to be able to be in the building every day and pop into classrooms and see, I was present to see his kids take apart a carburetor, and in the shop class, there they are. The carburetors are all apart and pins and screws are all apart. And the amazing thing is, it all got back together
somehow
again. I remember being a kid and pulling apart carburetors. Oh, we have an extra screw. We don't need this. And then, well, we all know what happened after that. The level of interaction between James and the students and the encouragement, and James isn't the only one. I could bring up Zach Tomey in social studies, and I was present for a class of his, and it was, what do you think is important to win a war? And the lesson was on the American Revolution. What is important to win the war? What did the Continental Army have? And so at that discussion, it was, what's important? What do we need? And success in the face of adversity. And it was a vibrant discussion where the kids were talking about, well, I think communication is important because we need to know where things are. Well, I think that being well-stocked is important because if you can't eat, then you can't fight because you're hungry. I think that, technology is important because if you have better technology, you're better able to defend yourself. The level of student perspective and the freedom that they had to engage in their opinions, I was proud of the environment that was set up by Zach. And man, I was in the lesson and I was taking notes. So it was very good for me to be in there. And those are just two examples of the kinds of things that we have going on in the middle of in high school. I could prattle on and on, but there are other people that probably we should hear from on the show instead of me gushing about them.
That's what I was going to say. We afford you the opportunity each month, so we'll try to get a lot of them on here this year if we can do that.
Absolutely.
Coming up, we're going to shift gears to winter sports. You've got some winter sports getting underway. In fact, kind of a historic hire as well for the Ithaca sports teams as well with the winter sports season, right?
Yes, we hired our first ever girls wrestling coach, Skyla Wanless. Girls wrestling is gaining traction, and we're very proud to be able to offer Ithaca Weston girls wrestling team. And the girls deserve to have a coach of their own. We've seen some success, and we want to be able to ensure that success and growth moving forward. Skyla Wanless is, a product of the system. She knows the students, and from my perspective, sportsmanship and character. She is able to impart upon the girls on the wrestling team a sense of sportsmanship, and with her character, this is the way we're going to do things. This is the way we're going to operate a program, and win if you can, lose if you must. But operate with Ithaca pride, and I can't wait to see how those young ladies are going to do. The gentlemen as well. I'm not going to cast them off to the side, but this is our first ever girls wrestling coach, and we're very proud of that.
Great. Good deal. And we're going to be hearing from Mr. David Klang, Mr. Aaron Hipsch, the respective basketball coaches. And then again later on, I had the chance to visit Ithaca Schools and chat a little bit with Ava Farjan, who is the award-winning essay creator. So we appreciate you coming in here and putting the spotlight on Ithaca today.
Oh, it's a privilege to be here. Thank you for having us.
Middle school and high school principal Brandon Federley. More is coming up on today's morning show. On our morning show today, we focus on Ithaca schools, and we've got a couple of the coaches. This is a rare opportunity to have them both at the same time. We have David Klang and we have Aaron Hipsch. David, the girls' basketball coach. Aaron is the boys' basketball coach, and both are teachers in the Ithaca district. How's the year going so far, David?
We just started practice this week, and so it's kind of one of those things that we're kind of figuring things out, especially bringing back a relatively young team where we've kind of graduated the last couple of years. We've graduated a lot of players, a lot of talent, so it's been kind of one of those things to mesh with the new talent. Plus, you throw in there that we're kind of meshing a whole nother school in. Like, yeah, we had summer league to kind of work through that, but not everybody was there, and so it's been kind of a work in progress, but we're making gains, and that's nice to see.
Do you have a scrimmage this weekend?
We do not. We're hoping to get some alumni in there and play against them. The only really scrimmage that was available was one where we're going to have to play Riverdale and Hillsborough, and we lead off with them, so it didn't really make much sense to go scrimmage against those and then play them the next week.
How is the merge with Weston going? I know a couple of girls came last year for the JV, didn't they?
Yeah, they came last year. A couple of them did. And then this summer, we kind of meshed with some of them and tried to get kind of the working pieces. I think it's working really well. Like the girl part, like the actual sport part has been like really the nicest part of it so far. Figuring out everything else outside of that has been a little bit of a kind of trial and error. And that's is to be expected this first year, trying to figure out how that all works and like where are we going, how is transporting, and like all the communication that needs to take place to make sure that everything runs smoothly. We're still working on that, but it is so far so good.
How does that work then? Will you have a certain amount of games at Weston?
Yeah, we have 5 games at Weston this year and then 7 at Ithaca. And then practice-wise, we're hoping we had a little bit of a transport issue for November, but we think we have it all worked out now for the following months that we'll be able to practice up at Weston. And we're looking kind of like pretty much a 50-50-ish split. Just depends on gym availability, when they have gym open, when we do, and what works for calendars. But it's kind of shooting for that goal to be as 50-50 as possible.
So being a Weston alumnus, are you excited about this opportunity?
Yeah, I guess I never really thought of it ever happening, or like me coaching again at Weston is kind of cool, and able to kind of incorporate that and kind of knowing that. I think that it really helps get the co-op going and started, that I kind of know Weston's history, and obviously now I know Ithaca's history, and able to kind of blend the two together. And it's really fun, and I think it'd be really fun. It'd be fun to coach up there again and be in that gym more, just because of graduating there and all that kind of stuff, and seeing more of their community aspect to it.
How many years have you been teaching at Ithaca?
This is year 11 for me.
So you've almost been at Ithaca as long as you were at Weston in school, right?
Pretty close, yeah.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
How's it going in the classroom this year?
It's going really well. Great group of kids, and everything's been going well. And I have kind of a different load than I normally have. Been teaching 8th grade, and I haven't taught 8th grade science, and really enjoying that, and getting to interact with them, because they're at the age where they still are very curious about learning, where sometimes in high school they kind of have determined that, no, I'm not really into science, or I'm not really into history, so they don't care. And at 8th grade level, they still care and want to absorb as much information as possible. So that's been really kind of fun and unique for me to be able to do that this year.
What do the science units look like for 8th grade?
So it's very similar to, it's physical science, so a lot of basic chemistry, physics, and so there right now we've been learning a lot about the periodic table and getting into starting chemical equations and going to learn how to balance those and all those types of things, which is nice because they've never worked with it before, and it kind of is really cool to see it like pop, and they understand like, oh, this is what it's going. And sometimes it happens really soon, other times it's the next day when they come back after absorbing it for a day, and they're like, oh, now this makes way more sense. Like yesterday is like you were speaking to me in French, and today it makes sense.
You were on the Ithaca Foundation or for the trivia team that they did last week. Did you get the periodic table question right?
We did. We
Okay.
got the periodic. I was a little bit pressured on me, but we were able to figure them all out. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd be worried, if you didn't. Aaron Hipsch is here as well. How's it going this year, Aaron?
I'm good. How are you, Phil?
Great. What grade do you teach this year at Ithaca?
I'm elementary Phi Ed, so that's 4K through 5th grade.
That's a pretty wide range, isn't it?
It is a wide range. They're definitely in different developmental stages. One thing I've learned is elementary kids are certainly brutally honest, so you get a lot of pretty cool one-liners out of these kids. So it always keeps me on my toes, and I have a good time with it.
What do you teach in Phi Ed as far as the 4Kers are concerned?
Well, that can be a challenge at times. Attention spans at that age are, up and down, but just basic movement patterns, how to throw and catch a ball, and just try to start giving them the keys to success when they get later on.
You've been able to be outside quite a bit this fall. That's probably a good thing, isn't it?
Certainly, yeah. When you get outside, you're not too worried about kids screaming and distracting other classes, and let them do their own thing a little bit. And yeah, it's good to be outside, and they certainly enjoy it too.
It's incredible how fast the school year has gone, isn't it?
It is incredible. It's hard to believe that we're in basketball season already. I'm obviously very excited, but yeah, it just seemed like the football was kicking off not too long ago.
And here we go. So boys basketball practice starts Monday, is that correct?
That is correct, yep.
Looking forward to it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. We've had good numbers that are open gyms this week, and there seems to be quite a bit of excitement around the program.
You did lose quite a bit of scoring the last couple of years, didn't you?
Absolutely, yeah. Our senior class certainly, not just scoring but leadership-wise is something we're going to have to replace. We certainly have a lot of kids that I believe would have played on a lot of other teams, and I think they know that, and I think they have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and they're ready to step up and prove themselves as well.
Sometimes you see that, you've seen that, I saw that in baseball a few times, where maybe the team after the team that was supposed to be so good because they have played against them all these years, right?
Right, yeah, iron sharpens iron for sure, and like I said, these kids, in their minds, I think they absolutely believe that they're ready, and basketball's a long season, so you got to bring it every day, but I think they're ready for it.
So you've been coaching, this will be your second year as head coach, right?
Correct.
But the kids that are juniors and seniors you've had all the way through it.
Yes, and that's also very advantageous for us, as I do have a little bit of a relationship with those guys and a little bit of continuity, which is certainly going to be helpful this season.
What about the conference? Is it North Crawford again?
Oh man, North Crawford's going to be good. We have a ringer of a schedule this year, which is good. But our conference is in a very good spot right now. Kickapoo and DeSoto, I expect to be very competitive. A lot of really, really well coached teams. Even your teams that might not be picked to finish very high, they could beat you on a given night.
Yeah, you go to just a real, almost like a vice, going somewhere like DeSoto on a Friday night in January, or Wazeeka, Steuben. I mean, those are some tough hands to hold, isn't it?
Those are tough gyms to play in, and I have a lot of respect for those coaches, and they've been doing it longer than I have. So every time you go there, you know that they're going to be well prepared. That's one thing I can say about them for certain.
Having played in the league, where was a tough place to play as a player?
Seneca was always, for me, it just felt like you couldn't get any shots to fall. It's a dim lit gym. The crowd was always in it. They're right on top of you. And of course, it didn't help that they had very good teams at that time too. So Seneca was always probably the toughest place for me.
Looking at your non-conference schedule, that hasn't gotten any lighter either, has it?
No, but like I said, it's a good thing. But yeah, we start right away with Royal, and looking ahead, we have Belmont somewhere early in there who I expect to be good, but we have to take it one game at a time, and our focus has to be on Royal at this time.
Indeed. What are the numbers going to be like, preliminarily? What do you think?
So looking around, give or take 20 kids, which is actually 2 or 3 more than we had last year. So we're in a good spot numbers-wise, and that'll be good for the JV. Give everybody a chance to play, and it's good to have a good full schedule on JV as well.
What's it going to take if you're going to put another number on the banner there in the Ithaca gym this year?
Well, we're going to have to certainly control the controllables. One thing I know is it's a very long season. You're going to be sick. You're going to be tired. You're not going to have great days at school, but you have to find a way to bring it every day and do stuff you don't want to do. Sometimes you have to do hard things. That's kind of life, and we're going to have to do hard things if we want to win.
But it's all fun, right?
Oh, absolutely. You have to find fun in it. Yep, you have to keep it light. But some days you're not going to feel the best, and you're going to have to push through it.
Mm-hmm. They always say that's the number one reason why athletes go out for sports in high school is they want to have fun.
Absolutely, right? Yeah. And all these kids are friends, and that's a good thing, and that certainly helps your team chemistry.
What are your numbers like for the girls program, David?
We have 13 out. We're hoping for a little bit more, but we're going to try to give it a shot of having JV and varsity. It'd be a little bit of playing that extra half since they give us that third half when we'll use that to kind of get through. And there might be some certain weeks that we don't have enough because someone's hurt or sick, but right now we have enough that we feel confident to have JV too.
Numbers for girls basketball, actually area-wide, have been down. You see any way that can be turned around?
I would love to have it turned around, but I just don't see with the popularity of girls wrestling really taking off and some of those definitely shifting earlier now that they have that and have such well built up youth program that they get to develop that, and now a lot of schools have their own girl program and own coach. I think that's kind of really helping their numbers, and our numbers are kind of dwindling, but it's one of those things. It's a long season, and you got to love it and you got to enjoy the grind because that's what it is. And your other sports, they might not be quite as long, but if you enjoy the sport, you're going to go and play no matter how long it is or how many games are back-to-back or whatever like that.
Someone told me their idea was that maybe the season should start a little later, like December 1st. Do you think that would happen and that it might help? Or
it's been talked about in different aspects because the thing, you just get going, then you have Thanksgiving, then you get going again, you have Christmas break and all that kind of stuff. It's been talked about multiple times, but then at the same time, we've increased our games each time. We went from 20 to 22 to 24, and now JV can play 24. So it's kind of conflicting viewpoints and how are you going to do that and then start later. So I could see that potentially leading to that. I don't know if that's going to be the fix, but it's kind of an interesting idea and see if it does work. But who knows? Time will tell, I guess.
Aaron, I know there's been a lot of talk in state basketball about getting the shot clock in. Do you have an opinion on that?
Personally, I would like a shot clock, but at the same time, I understand logistically that's not necessarily realistic at this time, asking a lot of your small schools to implement this and have another person to run that, and there's just a lot of stuff that has to go into it. But maybe in a few years we can figure that out, but as of now, I think we're good where we're at.
It would change the game a little bit, though, wouldn't it?
It would, absolutely. You wouldn't see any of the pulling the ball out and taking the air out of the ball and stalling stuff, but that's all gamesmanship, and you cannot fault those teams for doing that. I mean, that's, if you want to win a game, that's a good way to do it.
That's the way it goes. And David, you coached football as well. How tough is that going from one to the next?
Well, it's definitely tough, and you just go from one to the next. And this year, since I had a little bit more break, other years you just literally go from one to the next, and it's just a lot of trying to finish the one season out yet, and you want to keep going, and you have all these different things to accomplish there, and then you're trying to prepare. It just kind of gets really blended in together and really crazy, but I don't mind it. Like, the stress level, it just kind of keeps the same. There's not enough time to dip down and then reamp it. You just keep it going the whole time. I applaud people that go all three sports, like Mr. Kelly. I don't know how he does it. Like, two is kind of by the end of basketball, you're kind of running out of gas, but he just keeps going.
What about you, Aaron? You coach basketball. You coaching baseball again in the spring?
Yes, I will be helping coach baseball this spring. It's certainly, after a long season of basketball, there's no time to waste. You got to get right into baseball, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the kids, and it's a lot of the same kids, so I'll do anything for them.
Yeah, awesome. Good deal. Well, we look forward to working with you guys both. In fact, our first broadcast is coming up Tuesday night. The big Riverdale matchup, David. That's always a fun game.
Yeah, it's definitely be fun. It's kind of a nice rivalry, nice close distance. They know each other and back and forth and all those kind of things like that. And we play them a lot in the summer league, so it's definitely one of those games that you really want just because of the rivalry that's behind it now.
Yeah, and you hit the ground running. What do you have, 3 games in the first week?
Yeah, pretty much. We go Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, so it's one of those things that we get a bunch in right away, then get a pause, then go right back after it again.
Go back at it. And when is your first game, Aaron?
Our first game is Royal on November 25th.
And that is a Tuesday, is it? Okay.
Yep, correct.
Good. Well, here's to a good season to you both.
Yes,
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in
All
today.
right, thank you.
Aaron Hipsch, coach of the boys, and again, Phi Ed teacher in the Ithaca District, David Klang, science teacher, and girls basketball coach in this portion of the morning show. On this portion of the morning show, we're going to focus on a 5th grader at Ithaca Schools, Ava Fargen. She is the daughter of Marty and Amber Fargen, and she recently won a statewide contest for her essay, which we will tell you about. Recently, I had a chance to be a visitor at Ithaca Schools, and I spoke with Ava about her essay.
Yeah, so the title is Improving Schools, Improving Wisconsin, the Next Wisconsin Amendment. And you had 2 options, and you could either write about a current amendment that applies to you as a person under 18, or you could make up your own amendment. And I decided to make up my own. So this one is about how different size schools based off their population get sometimes not as good of opportunities to have hands-on experiences because they don't have the same funding as the bigger schools with more population. So that's what this is kind of about. Yeah.
Were you inspired by anything, or where did you get the knowledge to write this, Ava?
Well, Ithaca isn't the biggest school in the world. We don't have the most kids ever. So sometimes we don't have theater and all of that stuff. And sometimes I'm well, I wish I could do that, but going to a smaller school with less population, we don't get funded as much, so we don't have the same possibilities, kind of.
Okay, well said. Who is your teacher here at Ithaca?
Miss Price.
Okay, and Miss Price, did other members of your class enter the same contest as you?
Only Liam Starks.
Okay,
that's it though. He's the only other one who entered.
And how many schools were involved in this competition? Do you have any idea?
I believe it was in the whole state.
Oh, wow.
Anyone who wanted to enter. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think without further ado, we should have you read it, Ava, if you'd be so kind to read it for our audience today. Again, it's Improving Schools, Improving Wisconsin. Ava Fargen, a 5th grader here at Ithaca. Go ahead.
Improving Schools, Improving Wisconsin, the Next Wisconsin Amendment. Did you know that not all Wisconsin public schools are the same? Some schools have great science fairs, others have art, drama, and can learn multiple different languages. Sometimes, schools have huge technical education programs. However, not all schools have these possibilities. This is why the Wisconsin Constitution should be amended so that every Wisconsin student has the rights to equal opportunities in the public education no matter what the school's student population is. First off, science and math are extremely important life skills. Almost all jobs require a basic understanding in math and science. Many students in rural areas are not given the same opportunities for science and math. This is shown by the lack of science fairs and math competitions. This inequality is further extended when well-funded schools start their programs in elementary and middle school. In order for Wisconsin to have successful people in the science and math industry, we need schools to start these programs earlier. Classes such as art, drama, and learning new languages enhance our lives and are good for our health, creativity, problem solving, and much more. Some schools in Wisconsin have well-established programs and resources to build these skills. Things like art teachers, language teachers, and music teachers theaters and supplies are needed. Sadly, when there's not enough money in a school district, these are some of the first things to get cut. Bigger schools usually have more than one foreign language to choose from, while smaller schools only have one to choose from, or those students have to learn online. Another thing is that art and music are known as the universal languages. Could you imagine life without them? As you can see, things such as art, music, and learning new languages make the world a better place. Finally, being able to offer hands-on learning experiences is also an important trait of public schools. The inconsistency in these programs is vast. Many of the technical jobs in Wisconsin require people who are educated in automotive, welding, carpentry, electrical, and manufacturing skills. Unfortunately, the equipment needed to do these hands-on experiences is very expensive, and small schools are not able to afford these things. If Wisconsin schools could offer better technical education to all students, we could reduce Wisconsin's unemployment rate. If all schools had equal opportunities for hands-on education, it would help Wisconsin in the future. In Wisconsin, schools get funded based on the student population within the school. However, this should be amended to the Wisconsin Constitution so all schools get equal funding no matter what. In order to develop our gifts, talents, and abilities, small schools need to be able to offer equal education programs to all Wisconsin students. By making certain that all students receive science, math, fine art, and technology programs, we are not only helping the students but helping the world.
That is wonderful, Ava. Man, good job there. And when the people that gave you the award, did they give you any insight as to why you were chosen?
Yeah, they said a lot of people had entered, but this one really stood out to them because it would be, helpful to, kids, and that's what the, writing was about.
Possibly you could give it to our state legislators, too, and hear what you've had to say here. I'm guessing some people have told you that as well, haven't they?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So it pretty much sums it up here, but why do you like going to Ithaca Schools? What do you think, what do you like the most about here?
Well, even though we're a small school, it makes many opportunities for you to bond with the students. Because I feel like if you were in a huge school with so many kids, you would almost be like, who's that person? I have no clue. But here, you really know, you can know everyone because there's just, and you can really have good experiences with everyone.
The school year's going by pretty fast. Have you had some fun so far this year?
For sure, yeah. It's been a really great year so far.
What are some other things you're interested in or involved in at Ithaca Schools?
Yeah, so I do a lot of sports, and then I also love art, music, and all those extracurriculum activities.
I know it's a long ways off. Have you thought about a career someday, Ava, and what you'd like to do?
Well, it is a long ways off, but I would like to be a teacher someday. I had a great teacher in first grade that I really liked, and she's always inspired me ever since then.
And her name is?
Miss Richards.
All right. Well, that is awesome. So this is a great thing. You got a nice plaque out of this. Are you displaying it proudly in your home?
Yeah, it's in my room, hung on my desk.
Oh, that's right. Well, congratulations. This is an awesome award for you, and thanks for reading it and sharing it with us, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Ava Farjan joining us. She is a fifth grader here at Ithaca Schools. And joining us is elementary principal Sarah Dilley from right here in Ithaca. Well, we just heard from Ava. We've heard her speech. This is a really prestigious honor for a student from Ithaca, isn't it?
It really is. We are so proud of Ava. She did a great job representing Ithaca well. I liked how she focused on making sure that every student in Wisconsin has equal access to quality education.
So tell us about how prestigious this award is, because it's not just a Ithaca or Richland Center or Southwestern Wisconsin thing, is it?
That's right. It is a statewide essay contest that she was part of, and this was part of the Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice on Wheels program. And this program brings the state's highest court to different parts of Wisconsin, so students and community members can see the court in action. So this year it was held right here in Richland Center.
Ava has, we talked about her teacher, Mrs. Price, but I mean, it's certainly, a good credit to your entire staff here, isn't it?
Absolutely. We are very grateful to teachers like Mrs. Price for offering opportunities like that one to Ava, and to all the teachers who inspire the students every day. I know Mrs. Huffer, Ava's teacher last year, played an important role in fostering her love of learning and writing. So it's a great reminder of how every teacher's influence builds upon the next.
Has it been a good start to the school year here, Sarah?
Absolutely. Yes, we're excited for the rest of the year. Good things are happening at Ithaca.
You have the homecoming, and then you really you put your nose to the grindstone until Thanksgiving. So right now you've got a lot of things going on here, a lot of learning going on, I'm sure, right?
A lot of learning. Yes, we've got great things ahead. We've got our Veterans Day programming on Tuesday the 11th coming up. We just went and visited our nursing homes. We love that. That was something that had been happening for 20 years, and Mrs. Kara Steinmetz helped to see that continue this year, so that was awesome. We've got our music programs coming up for the holidays, so lots to look forward to.
Yeah, getting to the nursing homes, I'm guessing the kids got a lot out of it, but I'm guessing the residents did as well, didn't they?
That's why we do it. We talk to the students. We're not there trick-or-treating with our hands out. We are there, as a community outreach to offer something to the residents and really, really brighten their day.
And numbers are good here at Ithaca. You got some good numbers this year.
We're doing well. We've got a high open enrollment and people inquiring about the good things that are happening here. So we talk to people every week about all the good things that are happening at Ithaca.
Your first year in this new role, it's going well for you?
Very well. Yes, we're very busy, but we've got a great team and lots of good things here happening.
Good. Really a crown jewel. Again, getting back to Ava, this is just a nice spotlight on the school. Good start to the school year for the first quarter, isn't it?
Very good. Very exciting time. Ava represented well, like I said, and we look forward to seeing great things from her in the future.
No doubt. Thanks for joining us here. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Phil.
You bet. That is the elementary principal, Mrs. Sarah Dilla, joining us here, along with Ava Farjan on WRCO's Morning Show.